incoming now, and he is purple in that middle sector, so he's looking to try and bring down the Delta upon Zafso and enlist a Ferrari up at the very top of your screen. And yes, the first 119, and that is a huge lap, a monster lap there from Noiguera. Look at the gains, 3.2 between Ps1 and Ps2, and if that isn't an advert for the soft tyre, I don't know what is. And we're going to start seeing more and more of these Deltas come down now. Alex Gillen, the next one to watch. He is purple in the first sector. He's green in the second, as you'd expect. It's all about the all-important third sector, and he has got traffic to try and deal with. He's got a McLaren right in front of him here as well. That belongs to Nick Flies as he heads towards the line. Gillen flies into P1 by just over 200ths of a second.
It's a good lap from Gillen, but he had a little mistake coming out of the Ascari chicane, and then he got blocked on the run up to Parabolica, forced onto the grass by a weaving Haas car. I think he'll have a few comments to make about that when we get into the post-qualifying scenario, but I think there's more time left in that Gillen tank.
Yeah, definitely think so. There's more in the tank, I think, for various drivers. Black Mirror, of course, finding a little bit of time, but he's still yet to really put his first laps on the board. And Tiemet Marduk also not yet fielding a lap time, of course. Remember, last week's race winner returning again. He's got company as well. His teammate, no less, Grid Jokes, has already landed a P12 time. But remember, his lap was set very early on and on the intermediate tyres. But now on the softs, an opportunity to plough even more time on the table here. We've still got 5 minutes to go, 5 3/4. He goes fastest though this time, a first 118.718. They still persist to come down. Grid Jokes dropping Alex Gillen off the top of the classification. And now Hayden von der Gullis, who had a tough time, certainly in qualifying last week, returning well, did well, in fact, in the race, only enough for 13th fastest. Again, a poor one-lap visit for Hayden von der Gullis. Tenths of a second, nearly 6/10 away from Grid Jokes at the very top. 25 seconds remain in the session. Nick Flies about to come up towards the line as well. Where can he go in his McLaren? 12th fastest there for Nick Flies. Not quite flying into the top 10 though. However, there are plenty of drivers that are out on laps, and a personal best and a fastest first sector here as well for the Haas of Scott Taylor, who goes 5th fastest. Here comes Grid Jokes. Can he go faster again? Yes! A 118.7. Can it be top though? Infratic looking to improve. He needs to majorly. 12th fastest for the Ferrari as he now bursts down the long straight. Here comes GB, currently 4th. He won't set another time. His teammate might though. That guy Vince, no, can't go higher than P11. But what about Ricky 03 as he now makes his way down the straight in towards Alboreto? Racing Chai calls it a day. We got more cars coming across the line. Lolinoba, former F2 champ, 8th place here in this classification. Anyone else? Noiguera, great over one lap. Not quite good enough though for pole. 84 thousandths off the top. Here comes Ricky 03 as well. Can he steal it? No, only enough for 6th place.
Still more drivers coming across the line. Gillen can't improve. Neither can his teammate. Everyone else coming across the line at the moment, both kick sour as Arsenault goes up to P6. F1 Alex can't improve from P16. The only last driver now to try and cross the line will be Scott Taylor, who set his lap previously, and Meraki as well, as he comes around the Parabolica corner.
Yeah, and obviously Meraki still 7.6 down on Delta. He could find something massive here, but only enough for 10th place. Extraordinary scenes looking ahead to our first race of the day. Former champions not quite showing their very best. Meraki, you'd expect to see at the front. Also Alex Gillen. Lolinoba to a certain degree. That guy Vince as well, who scored regular top 10s in his time here. Of course, Zafso, a former champion. Many of them starting from the bottom end of the classification. The bottom 10, I should say. But there's Noiguera, 2nd fastest. I said watch him over one lap. He is absolutely sensational. His raw pace is brilliant. He gets rather unlucky on the odd occasion. Strategy doesn't always go his way, but he's got a great chance now once again, starting on the front row. But it's all about the sister Mercedes to Tiemet Marduk. It's Grid Jokes on pole ahead of race 1. And all 5 lights are indeed lit. And it's pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. Noiguera doesn't get the best of launches. Grid Jokes gets away very sharply. Further back, Formula Karim also getting a decent run. Arsenault looking to run side by side, but look at the fight back here from Noiguera, sending the Ferrari up the inside of the Rettifilio and takes the lead of the race as they all come through the Rettifilio chicane. There's a Haas going off They're deep as well. I think that was Lolinoba just taking the off track and a spinner at the back. And what a surprise. It's Hayden von der Gullis, helmet and all. He's right at the tail end of the field.
It was actually his teammate Riccio 3 who got sent around, but Lolinoba was the driver in the Haas that sent to the escape road in the first corner. Formula Karim having to take to this escape road as we head in towards the first chicane. There is carnage here in Monza as the rain continues to pour down.
As they now fly down the long straight once again, he's trying to tag onto the back of Lolinoba, who's 2 seconds behind. Wheel to wheel now as Grid Jokes makes contact up at the front. Goodness me, they were fighting over the race lead, and as a consequence, oh my goodness, Karim moves into the front now, takes an unbelievable advantage on the run in towards the Rettifilio, took full advantage of Grid Jokes' mistake, coming together with Noiguera, and Karim was there, ready to pounce in his Papaya McLaren. He leads here at Monza.
I'm trying to figure out what exactly went on there. It looked like one driver tried to cut the other off. GB, though, trying to take advantage as well in towards the chicane. Inside line becomes the outside line. The Ferrari has to yield, and yield he does, but he's gone off into the runoff zone, and that's Noguera round.
Well, I can tell you one thing, we have not had an F2 champion become an F1 Creator Series champion, but Formula Karim could be the one to make that happen. Of course, won it in its final rendition. Of course, the last time we saw the F2 Championship in the Creator Series, it was won by Formula Karim. But GB, who briefly took the fastest lap of the race, now opens up the door here on Formula Karim and drops him into second. It's GB68 who moves up into first place. On the outset now of Rettifilio, he will continue and look to rise onwards as now conditions start to improve around the Temple of Speed. Is anyone else going to decide to come in? Formula Karim taking a very shallow line coming through Alboreto, and that does lead to a pit stop of his own. So he's the first from the front to come in and opt for a dry tyre. Alex Gillen joins him as well. That guy Vince doing the same. Yeah, they'll take the green wall tyre off now. This time they will set up the medium tyre. Now, where is Formula Karim at this moment in time? There he is, rounding Kerber Alboreto. We'd firmly expect him to take the lead of the race, or will he be under contest from GB? As now we see GB exiting the pit lane and he's being pursued by Tiamat Marduk. There's Karim as well, looking to move up alongside. It's going to be a wheel-to-wheel fight. No, there's not. Karim will retake the lead of the race here on lap 14. GB in second. Tiamat Marduk in the lead fight as well, has somehow, some way, after losing the initial places, fought his way back up to where he was before. Second row of the grid position.
Yeah, what a battle we're about to have on our hands in the final few laps of this race. We've still got 13 to come, and as Formula Karim just showed us there, the curbs are still a little bit damp. The rear end of the McLaren starting to kick out, but GB's got to run. He's got the rear wing open, and as we run down towards the Ascari chicane, almost certainly GB retakes the race lead with absolute ease here, but a battle further back. Could we going to see a dive from Alex Gillen? Two overtakes in towards the Ascari chicane. Beautiful move from Alex Gillen. There's quite a possibility that with all this fighting amongst the grid, that he can try and close that gap over the next few laps. Moves being made further forward as Formula Karim's moved complete other side of the road, trying to keep away from everybody else. He's switched past GB68. Alex Gillen wants to come on the way through as well. He's going to swoop around the outside of GB68. Outside lends himself to the inside, and Gillen's now up to P2, but still side by side as we enter the Curva Grande. Now he's got the move done.
Fantastic move from Alex Gillen, brings himself into the lead fight. Tiamat Marduk also fancies some of the same as well. A little bit of bump draft in between them as they come down into the Rogier. Karim leads, late on the brakes there from Alex Gillen. Tussles as well, 3 wide on the escape. Coming out of the Rogier chicane, and Tiamat Marduk moves into second. A double overtake here on lap 22. GB licking his wounds in third, and Alex Gillen, who looked to be the favourite coming out of the Rogier, has lost out altogether. That guy Vince in fifth, also looking for a fight. Racing Chai as well coming into this too with Lolinoba as they fly in towards Ascari, the two Astons together, and it's caused a huge colossal error there for that guy Vince. It's pushed him wide on the exit of Ascari and opened the door for Racing Chai and potentially Lolinoba on the run down towards Alboreto. Karim now sending it down the long straight. Here we go, folks. This is where business starts to pick up. GB in the wheel tracks now of Formula Karim. The man in Papaya looking to defend hard against the Aston Martin. He can't defend enough, though. GB's got enough. Oh, no, my goodness me. Oh, Karim's been collected. And on top of that, as well, a sea of cars have ploughed into one another. Tiamat Marduk somehow has come out in second. Gillen in third. But Ben's got a penalty. He has got a penalty against his name of 10 seconds, so he won't finish on the podium here at this rate. It looks like it. I tell you what, he doesn't have enough of them as far as we're concerned. Definitely one of the dark horses, still scrapping it out. Ben Daly and Gillen into the gravel. The old rivals collected again, and our first retirement. It's Alex Gillen. He's lost it. The suspension damage clear on the front left of the car. But look at this. History made once again. I tell you what, an emotional scene when he won his first. He comes back all mean and green here at the Temple of Speed. It's GB. He takes victory here at Monza, and that is our first race of tonight's double-header affair. The Italian job kicking off in the right vein for the Aston Martin team. Lolinober second, the former F2 champion, giving a great account and finishing on the podium place. And it's a double podium for Aston Martin. That guy Vince launching himself into the stratosphere. That's podium number 3. And Meraki, who is at the tail of this 8-car scrap, finds himself in 4th.
Beautiful, beautiful opportunity there. Beautiful win for GB as well. Aston Martin completely in their wheelhouse this afternoon. Lolinober showing everybody that Italy is his hometown. And that is a beautiful P2 for himself. The home crowd hero will be celebrating this afternoon.
And it's pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. A great start for Alex Gillen, a good start over Hayden von der Gullis, gets away very nicely indeed on the run down through towards Tamburello. Gillen, no pressurising and puncturing. Gullis heading in towards Tamburello this time, coming out of turn 2 and turn 3. It's the Williams that leads. F1 as well coming through. Surprisingly enough, it's all very neat and tidy on the escape out of Tamburello, though. Gillen going round the outside, coming through towards Villeneuve. Gullis squeezes him. Great defence from the Williams, and Gillen loses traction. F1 Alex with a little look around the outside, can't quite manufacture anything, and up the inside goes Sasso, Racing Bulls with a great start here. 2 RBs in the top 3.
Great opportunistic move from Safso there. Saw F1 Alex maybe being a bit hesitant to Alex Gillen and Hayden in front of him. Saw it move down the inside and absolutely licked the stamp and sent it. And he sent it again on his teammate. P2 for Safso.
No friends here. I tell you what, despite being teammates, I tell you what, Gillen's had a little bit of a heart-stopping moment in both races so far. His teammate decided to launch the inside of Aqua Minerale. Gillen trying to tie up with Gullis on the run coming through out of the Variante Alta chicane, and it's 3 wide on the escape. Safso and Gillen, the 2 teammates, are now going to fight it out for lead supremacy. Safso holding that lead. Looks like Gillen, though, isn't going to challenge him for it. An end plate, I think, has flown off as well. Now, whose does that belong to? It's Hayden von der Gullis. Damage to the front of the Williams. Yeah, here comes Infratic now at the inside and steals P3 away from Ricky 03. A little twitch of the wheel. He looks to find the traction now. If you want a story about Infratic, this is a driver who's only had 1 podium to his name historically. No wins, but now he's in the victory equation. Secured his first podium with good teamwork last season.
Go for a faster lap towards the end of the Grand Prix, or maybe help his teammate Safso go for a better run. But it's one of the longest pit lanes on the F1 calendar here at Imola, and our drivers will really feel it as they crawl along at absolute slow speeds.
Yeah, Infratic following him in as well. Blackmere doing the same. All eyes on Safso, who will eventually cross the line. He has got a 3.5 second buffer to Noiguera in that net P2 position. Let's see what happens now as we watch them rush down through across the line to that line. Safso takes the fastest lap away from his teammate, so he has managed to almost recover the damage that might have been done prior to his pit stop. And look at this, Infratic coming out ahead there of Alex Gillen. More penalties being distributed. It looks like the wing change was done, should I say, TK, because as a consequence, Noiguera has moved into second place and DRS has been enabled. Infratic ahead of Gillen after the front wing change. Yeah, he's certainly going to apply the pressure. Safso takes the lead again. Karim drops down to second. Here comes Noiguera. Here comes Karim. Noiguera around the outside of Formula. Karim. Oh, Benjamin Daly has been collected, and by consequence, he storms into Alex Gillen. Again, another coming together between the Mercedes and the B, and once more, it's Gillen that's lost out, and by the looks of it, he is now fodder for the likes of Ricky 03, Noiguera as well. That guy, Vince, has stormed into 4th, and Tierman Marek has lost so much time. He's now disconnected from DRS. He's 1.3, a whole second behind as well, ahead of Formula Krim and more, as now there is only 2 contenders for this race lead, and because of the consequence of penalties, it looks like it could go Formula Krim's way. Back again comes Zafso, lap 32 now, we're on the final lap of the race. Here comes Zafso, ran the outside here in the RB. Now he needs to put the slowing down tactics into motion now, and ASAP, because Gillen will want an opportunity. Big moves here from Tierman Marek as well. Big run as well coming in from Noiguera, who looks to come up through the middle. We got lap traffic as well in all this, and then Aston Martin's gone. It's Fitz into the barrier and into the gravel as a result as well, and round goes Gullis. Gullis has gone as well, so Scott Taylor moves into 18th. That is a major moment down at Villeneuve. It only takes one move, one mistake. Karim now on the cusp of gaining a first victory in the F1 Creator Series. Zafso doing his best to try and slow him up, but it surely isn't going to work this time. Zafso tried, he could not succeed, because Formula Karim, in his very first race win, he takes it here at Imola. Alex Gillen finishes in second. I'm sure a reprieve after the drama back at the Temple of Speed at Monza, and Noiguera obtains somehow, some way, his 6th podium in the Creator Series. Tierman Marek clinching onto 4th, and Ricky 03 in 5th for Williams. Zafso all the way down in 6th after the penalties, and that guy Vince, a huge moment after getting sent into the gravel trap, finishes in 7th place ahead of Meraki. Rasin Chai in 9th. Lolinova rounds out the top 10.